you again for being patient. Here we go. All right. This is going to be the scrim game of these two teams. We have bans coming out. Ignis, Groot on the blue side already being banned out. We have Mina and Irie being banned out on this red side. Sneaky has actually got the last ban for this blue. Royal Pandas. That's probably it. He must have typed it wrong, boys. He must have typed it wrong. I apologize. I apologize. But again, thank you guys for being patient. All right, we have Lumber being first pick. So honestly, a interesting first pick coming out. I really don't know if I can. Supports are a big deal. There must be a reason that they're going with Lumber so quickly, and that was no hesitation. Once they got the first pick out, they knew exactly who they wanted to pick. So I don't know if that's Dark's character to go with, or if they just have a plan for him. I'm really not sure. Lumber is a great support, but definitely not an ideal first pick in my head. Zenial and Slims both being picked out on this red side. Great champions all around. Back over to the blue side, we got Wisp and Liliana being chosen. I'm not sure about Wisp's current meta. I've seen her do really well. I don't know where she falls as far as the tier ratings. I know that she's definitely moved up quite a bit, but I definitely want to see her played a little bit more before I give any kind of judgment on her. But Liliana, always a great pick. And it looks like they might be running 2 mages over on this blue side. We see Alistar being chosen, and I think that might have been a misplay, and that's exactly what it was. Scud being shown, and Zil being picked up. Over onto this red side, we have Omen, Tulin, and Zephys. Went blank for a second there. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Picked it up. No one noticed. No one noticed. So, great bands all around. I like the bands. I definitely am questioning some of these picks, but I think the synergy between these two could actually play really well. Lumber being able to lower the damage of whoever he hits by that 25% is actually pretty good, especially when laning against certain heroes. Wisp is, like I said, I'm not sure where she falls as far as quality as far as marksmen are considered, but yeah. And Mr. Bot is still doing that thing. I need to turn that off. I'm just deleting it. Where is it at? Let me turn it off. There it is. Sorry about that, boys. The bot is lying. The bot is lying. There it goes. Sorry about that. All right. I gotta say, as far as the skin game is considered, look at this. I think, is this every single person but Slims has a skin? Come on, Slims. RP Crazed, get at me, buddy. I'll get you a skin, okay? Make sure that you're up there with the rest of your team. And Wisp, you too? Oh, how dare they? Both marksmen on teams. Stories, I expected more out of your Wisp. I really did. No, but both teams look very good. I do like the heal on Lumber. Having that heal on your team with an execute, I think that gives a lot of kill potential and also the ability to save some of the teammates. The fact that this entire team only has Punish and Flicker is a thing to note when going through the rest of this match. So with that being said, let's get going. Both teams already with no hesitation, already running straight towards the middle. I love it. We can see that maybe Zenial might not have got the message that the game was about to start, but here, they haven't not yet ready. They haven't paused yet. We might need to pause it for him. We'll let the red team maybe decide that. We still have yet to see him, so they might be having some issues. We're gonna go ahead and pause the game and give them some time to get reconnected. All right, so we're going to give him a few moments to get reconnected and get back into this game. So hopefully everything's good to go. I want to make sure that we have about as fair a match as possible. I'm speaking with them on Discord, and we'll see if we can get this game back up and running. All right, so far they said that he should be coming back. No word if he is back yet. We're just giving it a second. Hey, Kaya, how are you? Welcome, lady. Shout out to Kaya. If you guys don't follow her, she's a fellow AOV streamer. You guys need to check her out. And partnered, might I say, that check next to your name. Woo! It's a good look on you. It's a good look on you for sure. All right, we're about to start this battle. Let's see if Zenial is back, and he is back and moving. So he did miss a little bit of the creep wave, and they actually might have him on follow. I'm really not sure what's going on. It says any word from him yet, and they just said no, so this could be a bot, and I'm hoping that it isn't. Zenial is going in the right lane, so I'm assuming that he isn't at this point. All right. Let's go down on bottom, see what's going on. Dark on that Lumber, taking a little bit of damage from the Slims. Slims actually was able to survive pretty well against the two heroes down on bottom. Zenial is making his move. Looks like he's going to try to make some plays, but just wasn't able to get there. Lumber stopping him dead in his tracks. Liliana going towards that mid, or in that mid, throwing some damage out to this Tulin, but nothing too crazy yet. The jungles are just now cleaning up the lane, or their respective jungles. And you can see that Zill is making his way towards mid with that Lumber. Lumber did get some damage onto him, and now Tulin is now at half. So not a great gank from HK. A great dodge there, though. And you can see that the red team is now reacting to these ganks, and you can see Zenial very close. His shield just actually went off. He's going to run straight into this bush, but the team chooses not to engage on them. If we take a look up top, Ghost having a hard time against this Omen. Omen definitely winning the trades up here, and you can see Lumber's coming to offer some assistance and possibly making sure that this Zephys does not gank him. So going down to Zill, trying to go 1v3 down on bottom. Wisp very far from the fight. You can see Zill did throw out most of his skills there. The dragon does reset, which is a great opportunity for this blue team, for the Lumber and Liliana to get down here. And now this is the big thing, is when you disengage from a dragon like this red team did, the blue team usually is very ready to go after it, and the red team isn't. They totally disengage. So I would like to see that the blue team does re-engage onto that, and that's exactly what they're doing. And look at the Zill. Zill's playing very passive, making sure that everything's clear, and Zenial is going to be first blood, falling to that Liliana. And you can see that Zill going in onto the Slims and is having a hard time with that. Slims barely able to get away, but Zill perishing in that exchange. Again, Wisp not even around. Was very busy trying to take down this owl minion, and could have offered maybe some support. Definitely not to Zill, but to the team. Maybe re-engaged on someone. But look at what the Zephys is doing. Great play by Zephys. He has the ability to jump in and out, especially over walls like this. He misses his two, but we're not gonna talk about that. But, oh, Lumber now able to find out what exactly Zephys is doing, and this dragon is gotta be his. And Lumber actually steals it! A great steal, and Zephys is now gonna go down to Liliana if he's not careful throwing out the orb. He is gonna have to run away, and a great play by Dark King was able to get that dragon. 10 out of 10 plays. We'll be seeing you in the highlight reels right there. Liliana did a great job also pursuing that Zephys. If she had anyone with some backup, would have been able to make some plays. HK Ghost actually had to run all the way down to bottom to help in that. He really didn't help much, but he was there to support, but losing his tower in that process. Zenial actually coming in, and this is a 2v1 now, and Ghost is now going to need to quickly run away. Zill coming in to hopefully help. Zill coming in, but just too little, too late. Throwing out his ult, but it's just not enough. His ult doesn't do as much damage to that many players around. He's going to have to disengage, and that's exactly what he does. So again, if we take a look at the objectives, it is 1 dragon for this blue team to 1 tower for this red team. This red team does have 1 more kill, but looks like Story's getting initiated on. Slim's landing a great spear onto that lumber, but is gonna disengage. So 3 heroes down on down here on the bottom. So the tensions heating up for sure, especially with this dragon being up in 30 seconds. The next so if you're a player that sees this dragon happening, you want to make a kill within this next 30 seconds so that you can guarantee that you're going to get that that dragon. So that's exactly what Scud does. Was able to chase down that Omen, was able to finish that off. Now they need to know that it's going to be up in 15 seconds, get to that dragon, get these objectives, further get that gold lead. And look at this, a full-on engage into mid. Scud throwing out the ult, coming up with nothing, and the dragon is finally up, but Zephys is very close by, and so is the red team. And this is the kind of jungle work that Big is doing here. Is doing a great job. He's around the dragon when it spawns. He's there. He has a presence around. Zill did a great job actually picking up that. Looks like Lumber throwing out his ult a little premature. Thought maybe his team was going to be able to initiate with him, but just wasn't able to. Zill's still hanging around this dragon. That's exactly what you like to see with these kinds of plays. And oh, a Zephys coming in, throwing out so much damage, but it's just not enough. Zill in there and just doesn't get it. Zephys's passive saves him right there. If that was any other hero, he would be dead to rights, but Zephys with that damage per reduction passive, it saves him right there from the Zill's one ability. Zill and the rest of the blue team here at the dragon. The red team has no presence here. Is going to be a for sure dragon kill for this blue team, and that just put them quite a bit in the lead. If we take a look at the gold charts, you can see it has been a kind of back and forth game, but this blue team is starting to run away with it, but that can change at any moment that they get a kill. Looks like Scud now backing off of this Omen, trying to get some distance in between him, both the two of them. And now Liliana coming in, and that is a for sure kill. This Omen has been overextending just a little bit, but that has got to be the definitely something he's got to be careful on. Look at this, Zill getting very close, and look at this Scud, or I'm sorry, Slims wanted to go full in onto the onto that team with under half life. The blue team reacting very well. A Slim's spear just going awry, does not hit anything. And now look at this. Zill is in Zenial in a very bad position, and it looks like he's getting boxed out by this Zill. Zill now ulting in, doesn't hit much because of the rest of the team there, but oh, gets taken out in the process. So Zill takes out Zenial, but Zephys was able to take out that Zill. Red team is going to have to back off at this point, and you can see that Omen and Zephys both backing out, and Scud was able to pick up that top tower. So it is 1 tower to, on the blue side, 3 towers and 2 dragons. This blue team is playing very well as far as the rotations and the keeping away of these dragons. Look at this Scud going in, doing some massive damage to Tulin, but just... if he was able to hit him with that ult, I think he could have finished him off with the execute. Oh, it wasn't up, actually, so I don't think he would have been able to kill him regardless. All right. Looks like Zephys is around looking for that Liliana possible initiation, but realizing he doesn't have any teammates, backs off a little bit. Dragon is up. Important note, and it looks like the red team's the only one that's around that might be able to... go after this. So, and they're actually choosing to chase down and rotate up to top. And looks like Omen actually does get a kill onto Scud. So finally, that's the kind of thing that we've been looking for. But with that being said, blue team locking in these objectives. Objectives wins games, period. You can have as many kills as you want, but if you get a lot of these objectives, it's going to give you such an advantage that you're just going to pull away from the other team. a great kill for this this red team. Wasn't able to take out that Liliana. So as far as ganks, this red team is doing very well. But as far as objectives and just outright team fights, it seems that this blue team is working. We do have a pause, so it looks like we're maybe missing one of the blue players. All right, so we're just gonna give them a moment. But man, look at the gold lead. It is a 2K gold lead for this blue team at this moment. 3 towers, 3 dragons. Red team has 1 tower. And it's the only one that Scud actually rotated to get the dragon. So, man, I think this red team definitely has the potential to like come back and pull this around. But they really need to start locking down some of these objectives before the blue team gets a second wind in these team fights. And that's exactly what Omen's doing. He is able to take out another tower. So that is 2 towers that he has taken out solo. And it's the only 2 objectives that this red team has. So Omen is definitely got to be the one that this blue team needs to stop currently. All right, we do have some initiations into mid, and you can see this Omen was coming to help. Zenial coming to possibly start this team fight. But look, blue team again going for these objectives. Slim's trying to reset the dragon to slow down this blue from starting to initiate on that. A great spear straight to Sneaky's face. But look at this Scud. Once he shows top, I think this red team is going to have a little bit more gumption in their fight, and they're going to be able to actually know that it is a 5v4. The red team is gearing up to either push this mid lane or go in onto this tower. Dark running straight into 3 of the red teammates, and no one initiates onto him. That just kind of shows you what kind of level of a tank that he's at this point. Scud does find Zenial, tries to initiate, and both Zephys and Zenial both missed their stuns. That was a easy kill, I believe. Scud does have Mantle Raw. He would have been able to tank a little bit of it, but the 3 heroes there, I think that was an easy win. All right, red team now rotating. Look at this. All 5 heading down to bot. You can see that Liliana's getting initiated on. Now under half-life, she's going to have to back out. A great... Oh, doesn't land the ult. I think that was a mistake, and Tulin just gets annihilated by Scud. Scud goes in and just finishes it. Zephys doing a great job going for the back line, just not able to make a play. You can see Scud's now coming in, finishing off, or trying to finish off that Slims. He is going to be able to here shortly, and that is Zeal be able to put the nail in the coffin for the Zephys. I'm glad that Slims was able to get out of there. I was a little worried that he was going to stay a little too long, but it's good to see that he just decided to count his losses and get out of there. They are now picking up the Enraged Abyssal Dragon, which is going to give him that extra damage buff, which is exactly what this team doesn't need, and give Stories the Dark Blessing, which will allow him to come back to life. Right now, thing to note, Stories has not died, neither has Lumber. That's an important note. Same with Slims. I gotta say, there's 3 people in this game that have not died. And the person that we need to watch for is Zil. So if Zil is the person that this red team wants to kill, they will get some extra gold for killing him. And that's going to increase their chances of coming back and winning this game. Lumber doing his best to scout this bush as best he can, trying to get some gold. Let's see what kind of... Oh, he's buying the exact items that you want him to. I mean, perfect item build, honestly. I got to give it to... I was a little skeptical about the Lumber pick, but I can see it is working out really well. Zil jumping in, throwing out his ult, narrowly missing the arrow that was coming down from Slims, but does perish in the... inevitably, with the 5 heroes that are there. But let's talk about Scud. Scud up on top, doing wonderful damage to these towers. So now he has finally evened up the top lane. Again, this blue team just all over the place. They're playing out of their minds. 5K gold lead, 4 towers, and 4 dragons to 0 dragons on this red team and 2 towers. This red team needs to take some objectives. It's just the thing that they're not doing, and they need to give this Omen some room to work here. he really needs to push this bottom lane by himself and have the rest of this red team possibly go somewhere else. But this is where he starts to dwindle a little bit. Scud jumping in, trying to get onto that Zephyrus. Doesn't land it. Oh, jumps back in. And you can see Zenial actually coming in, throwing out some skills, but it's just not enough. Trying to land that stun and just missing barely. You got to give it to this blue team. When they try to initiate, things are going, like, you can just see that this red team is just getting devastated by every hit. The red team is surviving. It is only 6 kills. They're only died 8 times. And look at this. This is the kind of initiation that I like to see, but it is going to end very quickly because the blue team just happened to be all there. They happened to be all there for whatever reason. They knew that he was going to push, but this is going to give the red team enough time to get this mid tower. And look at that, Scud coming in and demolishing Tulin. Tulin is going to die in the next hit, and sure enough, Zill was able to pick that up. And you can see this team just dismantling this red team right now. Zephyrus able to get away again with his passive. That is the strength of that hero. That is the strength of that hero. He's able to go in there. Zenial trying to go in, trying to do his best. Dark actually landing the stun onto Slims, which then allowed Zill to jump in, which then allowed Zenial to die, and then Zephyrus jumped in just to try to help his team, and it's just not enough. And right now, Omen's trying to do his best, and it is just not enough. It is a 10K gold lead. We know where this game's going, and I believe it is GG's unless this Tulin pulls a play out of his mind right now. Tulin up, needs to stop the creep wave, and you can see that just the devastation of Wisp hitting that core, and it is just too much. And the blue team does take game 1. So congrats to HK. They will be 1 game up. All right. So good games all around. And let's take a look. Wisp with those ults were so massive. The blue team was able to get so grouped onto that Zill and then was able to that allowed Wisp to throw in the ult, which just dropped this blue team in those team fights. So good games. Good game. All right. So we are going to set up the next game. It's going to be it's best out of 3, so we're going to go ahead and run this one back, so give me just a moment. All right, invites are out, so we'll go ahead and get that going. While that's happening, let's get some music going. Hold on one moment. Yeah, that Scud really was doing some work. I completely agree with you, Goofy. Let me find a decent playlist. Sorry, boys. All right, there we go. But yeah. Let me just get caught up with chat. I'm sorry. Normally when I do the commentaries, I try to just focus on that, so I apologize. But if you report, you can get perma banned. Oh my god. Oh, you guys are talking about League? Yeah. League's a fun game. When is the One Rain winter tournament for pizza? Unity, so good that you asked. We're actually going to be doing a pizza giveaway here soon. For promoting Rain in AOV general chat. Hey, thank you so much, bud. Thanks, Big. Appreciate you. Rain, carry me to silver. Done. All right, we're just waiting for the teams to be ready. So I see a lot of RP saying they're ready. I'm just waiting for HK. Okay, they're both ready. Perfect. Can we share links? Of course. Anyone can post anything. I don't care. All right, so game's starting. Bands are being picked out. Once the bands are done, then we'll switch over to the game. Again, guys, thank you so much for hanging out, lurking, being awesome. Love your faces. We will do the pizza giveaway at the end of the stream, we'll do another giveaway through the marbles thing here shortly, so be ready for that. And yeah, fun stuff. Is there a way I can join? The PVL, there's a PVL Discord, which I can give you a link. But these are preset matches that we do every Wednesday, Thursday. So I have no control over it. But if you come back on Friday, Saturday, or Sunday, we do custom matches all the time. All right. So with that being said, bands are still going out. Never mind. Rain trash. Yeah. I can carry. I can do some carrying. Pirate, how you doing, bud? Who plays next? Let me check, bud. Hang on 1 second. Sorry, there's a 20-second delay. I apologize. It is going to be... I'm not sure. Nemesis? I'm not sure yet. It's definitely whoever's on the PVL. So whoever's in the PVL... Whatever's scheduled is what's going to be the 8:30 game, so I apologize. Can my marble count an extra one for someone else? Yes, you can. You know what, Goof? You can pick whoever you want, bud. All right, so with that being said, let's go ahead and get into this game, boys. Thanks again for being patient. We're going to go ahead and pause this music, get into this game. All right, so we got Groot, Cricknack, and Scud being banned out on this blue side. Over on this red side, Zephys, Lindis, and Ignis. Wow, that is a tongue twister right there. Banned out on this red side. Liliana being picked, and looks like Slims, Liliana, and Zenio being picked for this RP side. If we go over to the HK side, again, going with the Wisp, which is seemed to work out really well. I was a little skeptical at first, but no, she did amazing. Switching it up from the Lumber, going with the Crest. I like to see some variation in the heroes, which is great. And going with Jannar and Irie. So Irie's such a strong champion. Like the fact that she wasn't banned. I do see that they went with the Scud ban, which is really giving Ghost a different pool of champions to choose from, and I think it's a solid choice. All right, so Blue going with that Lubu, and then Crazed going with Gilder. So I gotta say, they have some very big heavy hitter champions, but the only two that really can do a lot of damage is the Slims and the Liliana. Gilder is going to be obviously the support holding everything down. Zenio definitely can do some damage, but it is nothing near what the Slims and Liliana can do. So I think the blue team's got an interesting strategy. I want to see if it pays out for them. Going back over to this red side, Zill getting picked up for the final hero in the pool of HK. So Zill worked out wonders for him last game. I think that ability where he goes in and the opposing team collapses onto Zill, and he ults and gets out of it while Wisp throws out the ult, I think is wonderful. I think it's really wonderful. So game's about to start, and yeah. Hopefully we don't have a DC. That was the sad thing that we saw last game. So let's take a look. We do have an execute and a heal. Like I said, I do like to see that variation. Punish and 2 flickers. I think this HK team's got it locked down as far as their team comp. Who's got what? I think having the support with the heal is usually the better way to go, just so that you can help out whoever is around. Having that extra heal and that little speed boost doesn't seem like much, but it can really do wonders in a team fight. I do like to see Crazed with that execute. But on the Gilder, I would have liked to see it maybe on Lubu or maybe someone different. I think Gilder needs to have flicker so that he can use his ult efficiently. I think having execute, we'll see how it plays. We'll see how it plays out. I think especially maybe for this tanky team, I could see them actually rocking with it. So that being said, looks like we do have Lubu AFK. Okay, there he goes. All right, thank goodness. All right, both teams running into the rivers. HK getting a little lazy as far as what they want to check for. There should be at least a hero here, and look at this. Looks like RP is. This is what I'm saying. Their laziness might actually kind of bite them in the butt, but looks like they're going to choose to jump onto Kresh. Kresh not very tanky early on in the game, and so yeah, that's a big waste of time for this blue team. They really should have committed to either going for the blue or going for one of those heroes. And ultimately what they do is just waste a little bit of time. All right, and look at this. No one has been bottom yet. Lubu finally getting down to bottom. He is going to get one of the creeps and then possibly be able to pick up this this owl minion. And that doesn't work out for them. And Lubu now half-life, having to back up. Oh, is not looking good for this RP team. Does get stunned there. Now Zenial having some issues. And this is kind of what I thought was about to happen as far as the lanes are considered. They have a very weird combination to go with. Liliana coming down to offer some support. Throws out some damage. Lubu missing his skill. Zenial missing his skill. And they're going to have to all back up. In the meantime, Liliana and Jannar in a slug match, but Zill right there to offer some support, and Liliana's gonna have to back up. But oh, look at this, Slim so close. Zill almost was able to finish off Liliana there. Zenial coming in to offer some support. Slims does land the spear, but look at this red team reacting. That's the kind of plays you want to see. The reaction of everyone coming together, making sure that your teammates don't die. That's what you need to see. That is some great communication right there. All right, so Zill making his second round trip through the jungle. You can see the Jannar running down on bottom, trying to see if they can get some kind of gank going. And you can see Slim's doing the same thing. Coming down on bottom, looking to try to set something up. Throws out the spear. Doesn't hit it on Kresh, but it is the wrong target, my friend. You need to focus on that Wisp. Wisp was the person that did the most damage to you. You need to focus on that character as best as possible. So a big misplay by this red team. They knew that there was at least 3 heroes down on bottom, and they chose to initiate onto Dragon, knowing that they would probably run straight through this river towards this Dragon. But this blue team not able to really commit. Again, commitment issues on this blue side. And finally, Zenial does jump in, and it's a little too late at that point. Jannar coming in, throwing out the flicker, does land a great stun, but Jannar is able to stay alive, but finally dies to the Liliana. So a great play there by the Kresh, was able to throw out the stun. And look, Dark is running for his life, but he is in no hurry. He's able to get out of there with just over half life. So a great setup and execution by that red team. We're able to focus that Dragon, get it down, and Zenial flirting with death for no reason. He really shouldn't be here. If any of these heroes had their ult or any skill, he'd be dead. He just needs to play it safe. All right. So let's check in up on top. And Ghost is losing to this Gilder. I gotta say, that's very interesting. Ghost now, jumps right into it, getting the mini stuns. And what am I watching? What am I watching? Ghost, an obviously good play, or a great player, let's just say, who was the Scud from last game, did such an amazing job holding down that top lane, and just lost to Crazed on the Gilder. That I can't believe I just saw that. I'm glad I got to witness it. So the teams are slowing down. Look at this. Right as I said that, you can see a full-on 4-man gank down on bottom. Crash doing such a great job throwing out the stun that just goes through and, oh man, just completely stopped that gank in their tracks. And they're just not able to do anything at that point, and the blue team completely runs away after that point. They lose a tower, and you can see that this team is now in full charge mode. Red did such a great job. Crash is got to be player of the game of last game, and he is a definite candidate already for this game. 2 amazing plays back to back.
A blue team tower has been destroyed.
Zill actually cleaning up the mid tower, which is exactly the kinds of things you want to see. And you can see, again, look at how good Gilder's doing. Not able to really, Irie's just not able to get in there with the range that Gilder has on that ability. He is able to really keep her at bay and stop him from, stopping Ghost from really making any kinds of plays. All right, so it looks like the dragon's being initiated onto, and the red team has this with no issues at all. I would say Lubu is in the danger zone at this point. Knowing that that dragon is down, he needs to play very safe. Could have been a gank that was coming around the backside here, but yeah, just anytime you hear an objective getting taken around you, and ooh, look at this, the blue team playing a little crafty here, picking up that, but the Liliana's gonna run straight into the full team at this point. Ran into all 5 heroes, took the wrong way, and Gilder, in the middle of everything, just doesn't have the support of his team. And again, I think that's where the execute maybe does well, but Flicker would have maybe done a little bit better. He could have possibly got out of that situation. Lubu, we haven't seen much of him, have we? We haven't got to see any kind of good initiations. He has no assists. I mean, to be fair, there's only 2 kills on this blue side, and I would like to see something from him. Again, Lubu is in a weird state. He has some really great. He has one really good skill, but it's just not enough to really carry the rest of his kit. In the current meta, I think it needs to have some more adjustments and needs to be careful. We're about to run into 3 of them. Let's go up to top and check out what's going on. I haven't looked at Ghost over Half-Life in such a long time. Ghost is gonna have to back at this point, and Lubu again by him with Wisp right there, has his ult. He's taking less damage. Everything was gonna go his way, but worried about this red team rotating to him, which was a great call. Backs off there. Crash at any moment is going to jump in, and you can see Zill ready and willing to jump in. Crash jumping in, and here we go. Zill looking for anyone to ult in. He goes in. He's in the middle. All the entire team is being taken out, and Slims is the sole survivor in the mid lane. Lubu, again, reacting very, I guess as quickly as possible, but should have maybe seen that happening a little bit before if he's possibly paying attention. Ult comes out just to kill a creep. I think it's a big misplay. This tower is going to go down this next creep wave, and there's not much they can do about it. And look at this red team. Seeing that the dragon's up, decides, you know what, we don't need to push that. Why do we need to maybe risk the heroes respawning to try to get that tower? They decide to go for the easy kill on dragon. Great choice. That is now 3 dragons, 4 towers, 25k gold. And red team is just running away with this. I gotta say, I want to see the Lubu try to get some plays in, get some kind of action, but he's just been completely not a factor in this game. And I think that's an important thing to think about when choosing a hero, is try to think of ways that you can possibly work well with your team. And I think that's where I think they're fallen short, is that they have a lot of tanks but not a lot of people that do damage. I think if Lubu was more of a damage dealing character, I think they would have been able to do a lot better in some of those team fights, but he's hopefully going to get there eventually. He's now starting to build a little bit of damage. He's been tanky this entire time. Gilder has been doing the AP route, which is good. I definitely like to see that. 2 mages on the team is so good. So good to have. And we can see that this red team is possibly gearing up for another fight. You can see that they are rotating to this mid. They know that that tower is low, and we're going to see some kind of action. And right as that happens, both Slims and Liliana run away from the creep wave without trying to clear it up at first. Looks like Zill's actually going to run straight into 2 of these teams. All 5 teammates are here. Blue's ready to go. Wisp is nowhere around. It would have been a great time to initiate onto that Zill. But they're just not able to. So, Blue, again, grouped up, ready to go. And they need to get something going. If we take a look at the gold swings, it has been nothing but the red team's favor, and it is looking like they are ready for this. And ooh, a great actually job by Lubu. He is able to find out that they are doing the dragon. Slim's landing a good arrow. Spear onto Kresh. Kresh hasn't been able to get his ult out. Jannar throwing out his ult. He's trying to go in on that Slims. Now Slims is in some big trouble here. Needs to dodge that from the Zill. He was able to get out of that situation pretty good. The rest of the blue team is trying to figure out if they want to get the dragon or not. Zenial needs to get with his team. The dragon has already been reset, but if we take a look up on top lane, you can see that Irie is actually pushing into the tower, and now you can see Slims needs to do something. He needs to heal and get there. Gilder is now still fighting with the rest of this team, and Zenial needs to get with his team. Irie's almost basically pushing into the core, and he's trying to push this mid objective. I think that's a big misplay. Maybe he has his ult up. I don't know. But he definitely tried to take the dragon. It was not the right call, but he gave it a shot anyways. It did get reset, and if it wouldn't have got reset, I think he would have been able to pick it up. Zenial now in a bit of trouble, doesn't have his ult, but you can see the blue team coming to offer some assistance, chasing off this red team, so good stuff. You can see Wisp maybe possibly gearing up for this dragon. Crest and Wisp should be able to do that in next to no problem. Or are they going to choose to attempt to go the Darkslayer? Another theory is actually go both, kill them at the same time, and you get both buffs without the debuff. So looks like Wisp and Crest now moving to make their way to this mid lane. Crest did get spotted out, and Wisp was able to take up that red, and Slims has just been hurting on this gold. If we take a look, 7.5k. Oh, and a great stun by Gilder. Gilder is doing very well. I gotta say, if Gilder had Flicker, like we were hoping that, like I was saying early on, he would be able to flicker in and possibly get most of the team locked down, which would help the blue team try to do some things. But with that execute, and oh, Liliana just gets destroyed. Absolutely destroyed. Walked into the wrong bush, and Irie was there with Jannar and Zill just completely disintegrated her. Zenial down on bottom, trying to throw out a stun. Again, missing those stuns. That's I gotta say, we've seen him miss that stun more than not, which is unfortunate. And we can take a look up on top lanes. A great stun by Irie, which interrupted Gilder's ult, and then Zill coming in, and that is I gotta say, that's the game. There's not much, so very, very lackluster ending to this game, but that is all she wrote. All right, so that is going to be 2 up, 2 down for this HK. So congrats to them. They played exceptionally well. I gotta say, the standout moments are definitely Dark King. Dark King did so well as far as his supporting. I definitely appreciate a good support. He was everywhere he needed to be, bought all the correct items, played out of his mind. And look at this, he even switched up his build. You got to give it to him. He switched up his build and actually went more AP because of the Gilder and the Liliana, as opposed to last game, which we saw him building more armor because of the Zephyrus and the rest of the team. So great job, Dark. I mean, we got to say that he definitely played out of his mind. Not to take away from anyone else, Gilder did a great job going up on top against the Irie, Ghost did eventually come back and win it, but I think it's because of the gold lead that the rest of the team he was doing. Ghost played out of his mind the game before. So, yeah. Gilder coming in with 32% of the damage. Gilder, new meta? Question mark? Could be. Could be. Could be. So, yeah. Thank you guys so much for, like I said, for paying